Welcome to Flashback Tracks. Travel back in time each Friday to an era of big hair, leg warmers, and Walkmans.
Far out.
Veg out with some clips from Downtime Broadcasting's promotional audio cassette magazine from the 80s and 90s, right here on the World Wide Web.
Reprinted from Agency Sales Magazine, copyright 1986, Manufacturers Agents National Association, 23016 Mill Creek Road, P.O. Box 3467, Laguna Hills, California 92654, 714-859-4040. All rights reserved. Reproduction without permission prohibited.
Time and your territory. Much statistical information has been compiled and published regarding the cost of a single sales call. These figures range anywhere from $25 to $500, and in some unique situations, even more. It doesn't really matter whose set of numbers you choose to identify with. The real concern is that personal sales calls are expensive business, and the costs are rising at virtually uncontrollable rates. The highest-paying profession of sales is flooded with representatives trying to sell your products and prevent your competition from selling theirs. Let's face facts. Products and buyers are becoming increasingly more sophisticated and have less and less time to hear our well-prepared sales messages, not to mention that competition for each sale is becoming more and more intense. What does all this mean? It means that sales skills and the ability to manage sales time efficiently are precious commodities. What can be done to maximize the use of sales time and non-sales time? Believe it or not, I've talked to representatives who don't even know the difference. It all starts with an understanding of time and territory management. We all know the reasons for managing our time, to create more selling time and generate the maximum return on our selling time. The point of view is easily understood by management, but sometimes not decoded and transmitted to the sales force in the proper terms. I am a salesman. The purpose of time and territory management, in my mind, is to make more money. The question I ask myself several times daily is, how can I make more money selling? The secret is, I never stopped asking that question. And fortunately, I never came up with the same answer. Think about that for a moment. It's generally agreed that a sales representative will devote certain portions of time to the following activities: prospecting, securing appointments, traveling to see prospects, waiting to see prospects, and delivering sales presentations to prospects. These activities represent a full-time job and still don't include contacting and servicing regular customers, keeping up with the required paperwork, and planning. To do all these things with any degree of efficiency requires a high degree of planning and organizing skills.
There are some practices that can be adopted and, if used on a regular basis, will make better use of time and create good selling habits. How can we create more selling time? Minimize the use of business hours for routine non-selling activities. As much as possible, travel during non-business hours. Develop ways to combine planning and paperwork with traveling. Make good use of the time spent waiting to see prospects by planning and completing paperwork. Create and use sales aids. Use the telephone as much as possible. What it boils down to is practicing the efficient use of time until a habit-based behavior pattern develops. At this point, every minute you're not with a customer will be spent completing paperwork and planning how and when you can see more customers. Many sales representatives have good planning skills and generally have no trouble with this particular element of time management. On the other hand, there are many salespeople who have poor planning skills or who don't plan at all. The best attitude toward planning is to accept the fact that it is a necessary practice, and even if you possess adequate to good planning skills, they can always be improved. It's really easy to say, I'm so busy putting out fires I don't have time to play. Planning is critical to success in sales. In my opinion, poor planning practice is the #1 cause of failure.
Travel back in time with us next Friday as we share more clips from the 80s and 90s on another rad episode of Flashback Tracks, exclusively on Promo Corner. Time to bounce.